played a hard game. I thought we played complete. I thought we left some opportunities to put them away on the field. Come back and watch the tape somewhere along the middle of the third quarter and early in the fourth. We could have drove down and got in field goal range. Some penalties hurt us, where I thought if we had gotten a field goal and made the game 13-3, then we potentially could have put them away with that being a two-possession game. But we didn't turn the ball over. We created 3 takeaways on defense and special teams, and we continued to manage the game well. And so came up short there and didn't get the win, but I thought we learned some things about ourselves and in playing against a good football team.
And then before we get into next week's game, talk about the significance. We've been talking the last 2 days about the significance of this game. Just give everybody a little bit of insight of the historic significance of this game coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about the lack of minority representation, especially black coaches as head coaches in football in Division I. That number gets more and more drastic as you go down in divisions. I think to date, roughly there's 10 black head coaches outside of HBCUs. And there's 3 right here in the RMAC with Darius Smith and Jarrell Harrison at Adams, who we're about to play, and then myself. I thought that was noteworthy in trying to bring awareness to a situation because everybody has a running back or a corner that looks like us, but not many people have people in charge that look like us. Well, this conference has it. Those 3 institutions made that decision to hire the best coach, and we're all African American. And so I thought it was something to be celebrated that this is the first time that 2 black coaches will compete against each other in the head coaching role. Even though it's something exciting, I think it should serve as a reminder that we're still nowhere near where we want to be. I'm looking for 50-50. If there's 166 or 170 Division II schools, then I'm looking for 50-50 because that's what the numbers on the field say. And so I think it was great. From our institution, I thought Dave did a great job of putting that out there and just bringing awareness to the situation. But no doubt we're excited about playing. I think Coach Harrison is a great young coach. Very excited for him and what he's doing with that football team, and so should be a great night.
And then going into the game, what do you know about Adams State?
Man, they're talented. And I say that every week. They got, I don't know how they continue to get big, tall, pretty-looking receivers to go to Alamosa. But I wish a couple of them would come here and stop by here before they go further south. But they're well coached. They're explosive on offense. You look at them the last 2 games, and their quarterback has just gotten the ball out quick, gotten the ball to the playmakers. They've got a big, stout running back, not as fast, but he's tough. He's a tough run guy. And so defensively, they mix you up with fronts, and they play hard on the back end. They got a kid, Bryce Hampton, at nickelback, that I think is one of the best we've seen, and he can flip over like a created player on Madden and play receiver and give you a couple of touchdowns. So we've got our work cut out for us. They've got some things that they do extremely well that we have to be prepared for in all phases of the game, and so it'll be another tough fight in the RMAC Saturday night.
Questions?
So when you decided I want to be a head coach, I mean, we talked when you were hired here, you feel like you kind of run up against a brick wall once you get into the interview process and all. You feel like now you can see the wall crumbling or at least cracking a little bit?
Well, I think it's cracking. I will tell you this. When I interviewed here, I felt like I had an opportunity after I met with Tim Foster. I had interviewed, like I told you guys, 13 previous times where when I got in the president's meeting, I didn't feel like I had an opportunity. Meeting with former President Foster that day, I felt like he was going to go with the best guy and the best vision for the program. So I left here thinking I had a chance, where I've gotten back on that flight many a times and said, man, the food was good, the hotel room was nice, I'll probably never be back here. I didn't feel that when I left here. And so I think it's cracking. I think we've got to do well. I think I've got to do well and win, so that people will give people that look like me an opportunity. And that's just the harsh reality of it. You don't want it to be that way, but people hire people that win. And so the more guys that look like me that are successful, the flatter the landscape will get for us, and we'll be able to compete for the opportunity and not be shut out because of the way that we look.
You see, that's just one more layer of pressure. Is, okay, we gave you the job, now you got to do something.
Well, and that pressure is for all coaches. That pressure, you come to a place like Colorado Mesa, there's no losers in our hallway. No matter what color you are, you can be blue. When you got the coach of the year next to you, the coach of the year across from you in different sports, you feel a different type of pressure. But for my culture, there's a certain pressure that I put on myself because I didn't see a lot of head coaches that look like me on any level. And so we definitely have to understand that pressure is there. I welcome that pressure, and we're going to be successful. But I coach for players first and foremost, and so in doing so, I think it'll all spread out and pay off in the end.
Can we talk about running backs?
Yeah.
What's the running back situation for you guys? We were looking for some
Man.
to show up this past weekend. I didn't. Can I ask about that?
Yeah, I was glad it's not the NFL where I don't have to report to you guys who's questionable and all that stuff. Should get both guys back that we lost. They were in the training room today. We'll take it light with them at first, but we just didn't feel like they were ready to play last week. Morian was nursing an ankle. He probably could have played, but we still have 6 games left. We don't want to play him in one and then he be done for the next 4. And so we took it easy with him. Avion had some sore ribs. Again, probably could have did the same thing with him, but it just wasn't worth it to us for the long run. All our goals are still intact. So because of that, we felt like we had enough depth. Jesse Rodriguez was a starting running back for us a year ago and had great rushing production. So we felt like we were going in there with a starter. And that's why we recruit the way that we recruit, try to stack guys up because you never know. You never know. Shadron does a good job of laying on people because that's what happened to Isaac Maestas a year ago versus that team, and kind of the same deal. And so we should be back. I can let you know after practice today, but we should be back to what we think is full throttle.
All our goals intact. That's what you tweeted out after the game too. What are those goals? Where are we at right now?
To win the conference championship and to be in the playoffs. You know, everybody in our region from a playoff standpoint has a loss besides Colorado Mines. We keep a close tab on that. There's going to be 7 teams in the end, and when we get in here at the end of October, end of this month, we're going to have a pretty good idea of who's still in that race. Hopefully it's us. Hopefully we're still in that race. There's a lot of 1-loss teams, a lot of 2-loss teams, including the team we just played. Every week for them is a playoff game. We didn't help ourselves by losing the game, but we put ourselves against a wall saying we got to be special the rest of the season in order to keep our goals intact. I think that's what you're going to see across the region, not just in the RMAC, but it's happening in the Lone Star, the NSIC. It's just one of those years to where after a year off of playing football, the dominant people ain't necessarily the dominant people, and things are still clicking for some people. And so everybody's got to come to play every week. But we want to be a playoff team, and we want to get a share or win the conference championship outright. That's what we want to do.
You mentioned Mines, right? Like they were another tough game too. It seems like this is kind of the way we build these teams in the RMAC, is with transfers, hard-hitting teams. Can you speak to why maybe that is this year in particular?
Speaking for our team, we built our team the way we did because that's what we have. And so we use the resources that we have to try to get the very best product out on the field that we can. I think that's what everybody's doing. You look at the teams that are fully funded, they can recruit differently, they can do some things differently. We have to do what's best for us. And the good thing about our team is we brought in guys that can play, but yet they don't hurt you in the classroom. They're smart, they're productive in the community. A lot of our kids, you wouldn't know that they transferred here. You think that they've been here by the way that they go about their business. And so we got into doing what's best for us in the Maverick way and not really looking at what everybody else does. But I do think people find their own ways to get things done within what they have.
After the Highlands game, you talked about we have a lot to prove on defense, right? Does it feel like this team still is going to come out and have plenty to prove?
Yeah, we haven't done anything. I was sitting in a meeting in May with some administrators, and we were just talking, and they were like, well, you really haven't done anything. I went, you know what, you're right. we haven't done anything. And so we take that same mantra week in and week out. The team that we're playing this week, we haven't played one snap against. We haven't done anything. Last week's practices don't matter this week. And we just approach it like that. And so we'll evaluate the whole thing at the end of when it's all said and done, at the end of the year, whenever that may be, and we'll assess then if we've done anything. But week to week, we just go about the business of being a Mesa Maverick and try to be the best we can that week. I'm still not sure who we are. A lot of coaches kind of know after 4 or 5 games who they are. I don't know. We still have not put together 60 minutes of disciplined, obedient, and gritty football. It's been 30, it's been 45, it's been 52. It hasn't been a full 60. So I challenge our guys on putting together a full 60 minutes because I want to know what we look like when we do that. And that's the chase. That's the chase right now. And I think they'll answer here pretty soon.
You kind of mentioned the week-to-week mentality here for a sec, but what is it like now that you're in conference play week after week? Guys are banged up, coming off loss. How do you get the guys ready for the next week now?
Yeah, I think when they cut the tape on, they know they better be ready to go. I've been very impressed with the RMAC conference. I think it's changed. I think we've gotten better. 2016, when I was in the NSIC, we used to look over here and go, they got one team, and if we face them in the playoffs, we'll be fine. I think the ball and the coaching has gotten a lot better in the RMAC conference. And so week in and week out, when we cut the tape on, somebody's got a wide out, somebody's got a deep tackle, somebody's got a whole secondary. It's so much talent throughout this league until we don't have to put up motivational slogans. We just cut the tape on and go, here they are. And they're coming in here to beat you, or we got to go there and they're going to try to beat you there. And so it's been really fun to cut the tapes on every Sunday of the next opponent because it speaks for itself in the coaching that these guys do.
They come back angry Sunday, or?
I don't think they were angry. I think they came back convinced that if that's the king, we're on the throne. I think that's how they came back. That's how I came back. That's what we talked about Sunday in our team meeting. If this is your king, that everybody told us these are the guys, and we were right there, and we had a chance to put them away, and we didn't do it. I think they want to prove that they can do it. And so I look forward to them getting back out on the field today just to see how they practice and move around. That was a real physical, knockdown, drag-out football game. Guys got back on the bus. They had exerted their all for the Mesa Mavericks. And so I was proud of that, but I think they came back convinced, knowing that they can play with anybody.
Questions of the week, this or that, rapid fire. Ready?
Okay.
Hulu or Netflix?
Netflix.
Cardio or weights?
Cardio.
Lemonade or iced tea?
Iced tea.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Steak or crab?
Steak.